Debra Burlingame joins us now. She's the co-founder of 9/11 Families for a Safe and Strong America, also the sister of Charles Chick Burlingame, the pilot of the hijacked plane American Airlines Flight 77 that was flown into the Pentagon. Debra met with President Obama yesterday at Ground Zero. How did that meeting go? How was it meeting the president face-to-face?
Well, it was sort of a mixed bag. It was cordial and respectful, and I thanked him for his role in bringing down Bin Laden. I told him I was proud of him when he gave his speech on Sunday night announcing it, and that I was very proud of the country in that moment, and he hugged me. It was after that point which we got into a little back and forth that I think he was not very happy about.
So it started off well, and then it was a confront, but you asked him about the CIA interrogation, right? What exactly did you say to him, and what was his response to you?
Well, I brought up the fact that as we stood there in that room celebrating this victory over al-Qaeda and to take out Bin Laden, the men and women responsible for this victory, who played an essential role, namely the CIA interrogators who acquired the information that led to Bin Laden's location, were living under the threat of a criminal indictment because Eric Holder has refused to stand down the special prosecutor despite 2 investigations exonerating them from breaking any federal laws with these enhanced interrogations. And I said, I'm a former attorney, and I know you can't tell the Attorney General what to do. And he said, no, I can't. And I said, but you can certainly give him your opinion, and will you do that? And he said, no, I will not. And he turned on his heel and walked away from me, left me standing there.
How did you feel at that point?
I felt glad that I had confronted him with this information. I wanted that to be in his head on this day, because those interrogators, those CIA case officers, are patriots. They are unsung heroes, and they deserve to celebrate in this for the role they played. And I wanted that in his head. And the fact that he was so prickly about it and frankly rude in the way he responded told me that I got under his skin. And I was glad about that, because this is not simply me standing up for people who did the right thing for their country at a time when we needed it. We had no human intelligence, nothing actionable that could have prevented 9/11 in terms of where and how. But there was an imperative to get it, and get it fast. And so this wasn't just me looking back. This was me as someone who lost a brother, not wanting any other sisters to be in my shoes, and to not, this is about the protection of our country. And we don't have, because of the president's policies, an adequate interrogation policy. We have nothing at this point.
Debra, this is Joe DeGeneva. First of all, let me thank you so much for all of the work that you've done over the years since 9/11 to help keep this issue in the forefront and to raise the key policy questions like the lack of an interrogation policy. And I think the fact that you broached this subject with the president yesterday, and that he bristled when someone would dare talk to him about it, is a tribute to your courage, and a tribute and actually demonstrates a character flaw in the president of immense proportions.
I have to say, with respect to the latter, I feel that it was an unbelievable quantum of arrogance that allowed him to do that. I mean, after all, he had just stood in front of this handful of family members and said that we are the people who preyed on his mind these last 2 years these years of his presidency. We were the ones that he's cared about and wanted to do justice by. And that was his response. I mean, I brought up an issue which goes directly to his responsibility as the president and commander-in-chief. His enunciated number one responsibility is the protection and the safety and security of the American people. And here is a coming together of that role. He's celebrating it. Let's be honest about it. He was there at Ground Zero, taking credit as he is due, and then rebuffing me because I'm asking him about an issue that goes directly to that same obligation.
Yes, and he is the President of the United States, and he has the power,
Right.
if not the duty, to tell the Attorney General to shut it down. It is he who is the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the United States, not Eric Holder.
Well, that's true. That's true. And, I feel that Eric Holder is, his clients are the American people. Not necessarily the president, us. And he's supposed to be making decisions that make us safer, not support this torture narrative that the left wing of their party is obsessed with, to the great detriment of the rest of us.
Well, you follow this closely. You're well connected with what's going on. Where do you think Eric Holder stands on this issue? Do you think that he would have, I wouldn't say guts, do you think he would actually do this, to actually press charges against CIA officers who interrogated these guys, and quite frankly, that we're learning from in all of aspects of the media that it did play a role in finding Bin Laden? I mean, can he really go forward with that now that we've gotten Bin Laden?
No, it's all theater and charade to keep the the left happy and quiet. That's what this is about. I mean, as long as that's in place and they do nothing, they can't be accused of not pursuing this, even though they're not. But in the meanwhile, look at the effect. You have CIA case officers who did their duty and did it magnificently, I might add, in terms of stopping plots and bringing down this terror network. They did it magnificently. They probably all have lawyers. Imagine what their lives are like. And imagine what this does. Joe, you can talk about this. What does this do to the case officers who are working now, today?
I can assure you, Deborah, that this has a very, very dampening effect on the vigor. People are not willing to take risks unless they get a direct presidential order like the SEALs did. And people out there in the field working for the agency don't want to have to look over their shoulder. By the way, this is what the administration is doing to these CIA officers is, in essence, waterboarding. They are waterboarding these guys every day that this case stays open. This should be shut down, and this is the perfect time to do it. This is the appropriate time. This is when it should end. It should end now.
Yes, absolutely now. And I'm not even sure that the damage of it can be undone so quickly, because these people will remember, the folks who are there now. What happens when we have a catastrophic attack? Or maybe we know that one is coming, and we just don't have the information we need. When someone goes to a CIA case officer and says, "I don't care, do what you have to do," what the hell does that mean? Mm-hmm. Don't you think that case officer is going to be he or she is going to be put in an unbelievable position? And we can only hope that they will do the right thing and say the hell with consequences to me personally later. That's what we're faced, and that's what this president and his attorney general have put in play for us.
Well, Deborah, thanks for coming to the show this morning and telling your side of the story. We appreciate it.
Well, you're quite welcome.
Debra Burlingame here on WMAL.